am fully clothed. Ain't no need for you guys, the tools. I'm using this. Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. This is the long-awaited wash day routine, as you can see. So let's jump right into it. As you can see, I'm drenching my hair with water just so that I can pull out the plaits. I only like to manipulate it when it has some sort of water, some sort of moisture in it. So that is what we're doing, and I want something that I want you guys to take note of is the fact that I'm using my fingers. Throughout this whole video, you'll be seeing me using my fingers a lot, mostly, and I want you guys to actually see, especially just for the first one, how I take time to pull out my hair. I don't get a comb or any other hair tool and snag at the ends to pull it out. I use my fingers, and we're gonna speed up this part because there's nothing special about it. So I wanted to point out something to you guys. Right here I found a knot that I could not pull out, so I got a scissors. These are actually not my shears, but I just use those scissors to cut the knots away and not pop my hair strands, because you're popping away the health and the length on it. I also wanted you guys to know, I'm laughing at my own joke right here, but that's not what I came to say. You guys need to get yourself some shears. Shears are basically scissors that are meant to cut your hair, so they're sharp enough to cut your hair. Once you get your shears, do not use them to cut anything. No paper, not just for this one time. Just use your shears to cut your hair only. Okay, so now that the last section is pulled out, the last plait is pulled out, I'm going to get my hair wet again. And if you know anything about hair porosity, by the looks of it, you can tell that my hair is low porosity because it's taking a while for it to get really drenched. But yeah, okay, we see you vibing, Natori. That's what I'm doing so that I can shampoo my hair. And you're gonna see me also like getting rid of like shedded hair, like just pulling on my hair to get rid of some of the shedded hair in the process. Don't get out of way to no one long distance. I need you. When I see potential, I just gotta see it through. If you had a twin. So for shampoo, I know this may come as a shock to a lot of people, but okay, look at the face. Okay, but I know this may come as a shock to a lot of people, but I'm not super specific about what shampoo I use in my hair. As long as it's getting my hair clean, I'll use any shampoo I have or I get. But yeah, I also never told you guys, but it's the first time I'm using that mask that I showed you in the beginning of the video. Usually I use another one, and I was super devastated because the mask I usually use is from Aunt Jackie's, but I've used it for over a year. I haven't used anything else but it, so it was like devastating, but we'll get into that. So another thing that you guys can see me doing is breaking up my hair in sections so that I can really get to shampoo my hair properly, clean the section properly, and get my scalp clean, because I don't usually do my hair that often. So when I'm doing it, I really want to ensure that it's clean. Okay, so now I'm using my fingertips to help to get some of that dirt off of the scalp. If you never know, massaging your scalp can help to increase the blood flow to your scalp, which helps your hair to grow. And I'm also doing it because it felt really nice. Even though my hair wasn't that dirty, I was there scrubbing my scalp for a good little while, a good little minute, because it felt really good. A clean scalp is the base for growing good, healthy, long hair. So make sure you are having your scalp cleaned properly. Also, when washing your hair, you should also try to pay attention to your hairline, rubbing your hair fronts. I kind of have enough, but you know, we always put like products and gel and whatever you use just to brush up your hair and keep it slick and fresh in the front. There's always products there, so you want to take a little time and give there some attention to. Okay, I'm popping back in to show you guys. This is me showing you guys a piece of my hair that is heat damaged. I got heat damage. I talked about it in this video, so you'll hear about it a little later. As you can see, now I'm just rinsing out the shampoo out of my hair, and I'm using the shower head. This made it a little bit easier because I can just simply direct the water as to where I want it to go. So this is me telling you guys that this is my first time using the product. I did not like the smell of this product, you guys. In the bottle, it doesn't smell good and it can literally turn you off. But on my hair, after it like dried out and dried down, it actually did smell good. Like, you know, not like, oh my god, your hair smells so good, but it didn't smell bad. Like, it smelled good. You understand? That makes sense. I think this product is fragrance free, which is why it does not have a great smell straight out the bottle. So if you live somewhere where you're not supposed to wear fragrance, or you're just not a fragrance type of person because of the whole thing around fragrance or whatever the case might be, this is a good option for you because, as I said, in the bottle it doesn't smell nice, but after it dries down it smells completely fine. Even though I'm adding conditioner, I'm not really conditioning right now. I am just adding the conditioner to help loosen up some of the shed hair that is in my good hair that is still attached to the scalp. So I'm just doing that, pulling on my hair to get rid of the shedded hair, so that when it's time to when I'm actually going to use a lot of the product, I'm not wasting it on shedded hair. I don't like to do that. So now I'm just splitting my hair down in half, and then I take the two front sections and do them in a quarter, just because that part of my hair is a bit more manageable. So as you can see with this quarter, I am just plaiting it up or braiding it, and yeah, I'm doing this in preparation for detangling my hair, just because look at me, what you want to see me? I bashed up the product. It was good though, it was okay. It's just not what I'm used to, but I'm just plaiting it up to make it easier for me to detangle, separating it in sections. And with this front section, I'm basically just repeating the same process. So now, as you can see, I'm taking the middle of my hair and making that a section of its own, because that part of my hair is very thick and very coarse. So I'm giving it a whole little section for itself. And for some reason, it also seems to have the most like short hair, like hair that get breaked off. So it's always a little bit more tedious detangling it. So I'm just putting that in its own section so I can thoroughly detangle that section. So I've checked the footage and I realized that I basically just did that middle section out, and the rest of my hair I just split the last back section into two. So it's almost like I did it in 4 quarters, but it wasn't exactly that. So this is what I got from doing that a while ago. Now I'm stepping out the shower, putting on a shower cap. I was actually shocked by the elastic in the shower cap, but yeah, I'm putting it on to kind of steam my hair. You guys are gonna see what I'm doing in a second. So now I'm just taking out each section, and I'm going to be working on that section, detangling that section, while the rest of my hair is in the shower cap, the steam cap, still staying moist with water, and also adding the conditioner allows your hair, if you don't have a shower cap or anything on hand, it allows it to stay wet for longer. So that's a little tip. In this part of the video, I will be using the mirror to help me see what I'm doing. As you can see, I'm splitting my hair into smaller sections. When you're detangling your hair, you're going to want to work in smaller sections. I'm not gonna lie, I was bashing this product at first, but you can tell by my face how impressed I was with the slip in this thing. It has a pretty good slip. I was just hating on the thing because it never gave me the best whiff at first when I pulled the jar, and I'm also just devastated. Like, I'm not using my deep conditioner that I've been using for over a year, but that conditioner has more like a more creamy consistency and it's more thicker. This is more lightweight. When detangling, I do use this Tangle Teezer dupe, right? It's basically a dupe for the Tangle Teezer. It's pretty good. It leaves my hair very, very smooth when I brush through it. So I do love it, and it's basically all I use, or a wide tooth comb. So every time I'm going to be detangling a section, I just remove it from the steam cap. I prefer this method because rather than spraying water on your hair, because when you spray water on your hair, it just gets the whole entire place wet, and it also doesn't feel the same as when you wet your hair in the shower, whether or not you have a steam cap on, yes or no. But also the steam cap just makes the water like goes into the hair shaft, penetrate the hair shaft, and it feels way softer, and like you're applying the product to it. It's not like you're applying the product and it's very wet and soppy and it's just yeah, just try and get some plastic to wrap around your hair while you're doing this, and remove each section while you're working on it. So when detangling my hair, I start by detangling at the ends, slowly working my way up along the hair and detangling. And if I feel like the section is too big, then I'll split the section in even a smaller section like what I did here. And especially for my roots, if the roots feel extremely tangled and I don't feel like using the brush up there, not just don't feel like using the brush up there, if it feels too tangled and it's gonna cause too much pain or too much breakage, then I'll use my fingers to like separate up in the roots, and as I said, also separate the section into even a smaller section, and detangling from the ends all the way up to the root. So for example, with this section, you'll see me splitting it into a smaller section again, because especially this is the back of my hair, or not in the back of my hair, this is the middle of my hair, and this is where my hair is coarse and really thick. So it takes me a little bit more time to just take my little time to get it detangled and get it smooth and whatnot. Also, if you're a girl that likes the curly hair, don't use combs in your hair. Combs will get your hair to look all frizzy and stuff, but it does detangle your hair if you don't have a problem with it. But if you do care, then use a brush, a detangling brush. After I feel like it is detangled enough, then I go ahead and put it in a braid and move on to the next section. We just need a face to face. You can pick the time and the place. You will spend some time away. Now you need to forward and give me all the work. You send me out there, work. You see me do my
Yeah. You make a like, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in a righteous. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave for decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation. All that I wanted from you was to give me something that I never had, something that you never seen, something that you never been.
As you can see, basically with all sections that I'm working with, I do go ahead and split them into smaller sections, or split one plait, what I'm going to plait into, and then detangle them separately, put them together, and then plait it together. Guys, don't trust my face. The front, or the hairline, I guess, is the most tender part of my hair, or you could say I'm tender headed there.
Never, no, never neglect you. I mean, who am I to hold your best against you? I just hope that it gets to you. I hope that you see this through. I hope that you see this true. What can I say? Please recognize I'm trying, baby. I feel why. It's me, I feel why. You see me do my da. So me by that why. When you walk out, la. When the girl from my touch.
Yeah, okay, you need to get done. That'll work, come over. Yeah. We just need to slow the motion. Don't get out of the way to no one. Long distance, I need you. When I see potential, I just gotta see it through.
By the time I got to this last section, it was just very dry and I did need to re-wet it. So I did turn on the faucet by the sink that I was and catch some water in my hand and just pour it on the hair.
I spilled all my emotions tonight, I'm sorry. Rolling. How many more shots until you're rolling? We just need a face to face. You can pick the time and the place. You will spend some time away. Now you need to forward and give me all the work.
You see me, I feel work. You see me do my da. So me by that why. When you walk out, when the girl from my touch.
Right here, I'm just showing you the amount of hair that I lost using the comb to detangle that section. Not much at all. If you are using a detangling brush like myself, then every so often get a comb and clean out the shedded hair that is in the brush. First of all, it causes you to use more product, and then secondly, it makes the detangling process more hectic. Despite me using the comb to detangle the section, I always go back in with a detangling brush or my Tangle Teezer dupe that I have, because it just makes my hair feels way smoother. And yeah, I just like the feeling when you just run back over it and it feels super smooth, and I just pat it out after that.
You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in a righteous. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave for decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation. All that I wanted from you was to give me something that I never had, something that you never seen, something that you never been. But I wake up and nothing's wrong. Just get ready for work. To me, I be work. You see me do me that.
Now that I'm finished with this last section, I'm going to just put the steam cap on my hair, and I plan to sleep with it on, but I didn't because the summer is too hot. I'm gonna wash it out, to be honest. I was showing you guys what breakage look like. That's how you know it's time for a trim. This is the amount of hair that I lost during the wash day. I did plan to sleep with this on, but I couldn't sleep with it on for the whole entire night. I took it off. It was too hot. And to be fair, I finished my wash day at 3 this day, and usually I finish it at about 7. Now we'll talk in real time. So now I'm gonna be talking to you guys, and like in real time, and it's not a voiceover or anything. This part of the video is the most important part of the video to me. I have written down some things. Okay, I'm gonna some bad handwriting because I work for years. I wrote down something. This part is the most important part of the video to me because I'm going to talk about things that I just feel like need to be talked about, right? So, how I grow my hair. First of all, honestly, really and truly, I was caught up in just minding the business. The place I'm now that I hide it from. I can't just mind your business if you see me doing this. So, the main thing for me, I was one of those girls that was following the natural hair community up, and I thought I had to buy a lot of expensive products. I did indeed spend a lot of money on hair products and whatnot. And I just want to tell you guys that no need for that, right? The main thing that you need to focus on is length retention. So, for example, I recorded myself pulling out my hair and showing how I pull out my hair. I don't use a rat tail comb to pull out my hair like this. To when I am going to pull out these wet that I have in my hair, I'm a straight finger alone. Amen? Amen. Because if you're using tools, for example, matter of fact, when I'm gonna pull out the ear, I'm just gonna stop. And I move up and I'm like, breakage. I mean, that's cool, you know. If you don't want to grow your hair, that is okay. And you can do that with your hair. I have no problem, right? And that's one of the messages I want to bring. Don't feel compelled to do what everybody's doing. Yeah, don't feel compelled to just follow the trends or follow people if you don't care. Sometimes some people just don't want to grow hair and just amen, leave them alone, let the people live their life. But if you want to grow your hair, put on the ear tool and now pull out in the ear and just use your fingers. If you have braids, for example, and let's say the braids big long down your side, you know, us girls are like, our hair just 5 inches extra while we're in braids and we have to cut it long. You can use the rat tail comb on the braids until you reach where your hair is. I use my finger. But the most important thing that you need to focus on is length retention. So how you're pulling out your hair, whenever you're manipulating your hair. Don't take time with your hair, just take a look at time. Comb through it, brush through it. Like, it's just about the way you treat your hair. And a lot of the times too, people come in my DMs and they're like, tell me what products you're using. And I'm just like, only one stuff, and I'm trying to tell you guys, like, it's not a product. You just need to focus on what you're doing to your hair, how you're managing your hair. That's going to cause your hair to grow. And I won't stop until we tell them what products it is. Like, girl, we start use choosing it because we don't want to use it. Come give me extra money with it you didn't want to spend for go buy. I don't know what brand, but it's not the brand that is causing your hair to grow. Your hair is growing. A lot of you guys think that your hair is not growing. I'm sure you don't have a scalp issue. Your hair is growing. And also, you don't need to put a lot of grease on your scalp. I don't like putting grease on my scalp because the moment I do that, like 1 week later, my scalp is itching, especially petroleum-based products. I'm hot. I need to drink of water. I'm coming back. So I'm back. I'm probably should have shown my cup because it's embarrassing, but it's okay. It's okay. Like, I'm sure your hair is growing because you're more than likely not scalp issues. Unless you have diagnosed scalp problems, and that's a different thing. Your hair is growing, but your hair is breaking at the same rate, if not faster, than what it's growing at. And so that's why you're not seeing any of the growth. So what you need to focus on is retaining that length, keeping that length. So things like doing protective styles. If you know me, my hair will stay in a protective style for a very long time, okay? Let's just leave it at that. Just leave your hair alone. So I'm just telling you what I do. But also, if you're gonna leave your hair in a protective style for a long time, I suggest co-washing your hair. The one that I used to use is an expensive one. As I am coconut co-wash, and I still have it, and I still use it. Braiding your hair. Let me tell you guys something. So when I was graduating, I straightened my hair, and I had a lot of split ends, is what I meant to say. So I'm gonna take up the front, I'm straightening my hair, and it come down, boy. Yes, I'm gonna say, yeah, man. But I knew I had like about 3 inches to 4 inches of split ends. And I went to the stylist, she was like, she has a lot of split ends. And I'm like, Mom, I look at my mom, I was like, Cause she's like, don't cut your hair. But that's not why I talked about my hair being braided. Why I talked about it is because I got a trim. After that, I think I did my hair again, and about 1 month later, I braided my hair. No, I think about 1 month later, I braided it in December. around November, December, them time there. And let me tell you, look, my hair grew, obviously. Look, I'm not shook at that part. Like, that's how you know that your hair is growing. You leave your braids in and you see the growth, the new growth at the roots, your hair grew. But when I took out the braids and I looked at my ends, it's like them just cut, and I was so in love. That's why I want to go back to braiding my hair like religiously, like back to back to back consecutively, because you can completely keep your hair healthy, your ends them healthy under that, and have just hair growing, and your hair is like healthy. Like the ends had no split ends, so you can get single strand knots, and people don't talk about this. I don't hear nobody talk about this. You can get like 2 strands knot together or 3 strands knot together. If you see that, do not pop it. Go for your scissors. If you really say you're combing here, you bug up and knot, put on the comb and like use the fingers, separate small sections until it's out. And if not, cut it out. Braiding your hair don't get a chance to split because it's literally tucked away in the braid. So this is the part that I want to talk about. This is the part that means the most to me. That's the main thing for me. I don't want people to don't like their hair because their hair is not loose. For the natural hair gurus, and we used to talk back in the days, and for them to say, oh, your hair have to do this. If your hair doesn't do this, when you're doing this, then something is wrong with your hair, blah, 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 blah. Hair don't need to follow any of the rules that these gurus set in place. There's so much exceptions to the category, and it's not just a handful of people, there's a lot of people. But yeah, people just stuck on this one hair texture thing and curl pattern, and it doesn't make sense because curl pattern does not equal to what texture your hair is. It doesn't tell you what porosity your hair is. Your hair can be tight. Oh, I wanted to talk to you guys about that too. My hair, I have very loose hair up in the middle of my ear, and it's the coarsest part of my hair as well. So a lot of the time we're like, oh my god, your hair is loose, blah 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 blah, you're not struggling or whatever. It can still be coarse, just like how somebody can have a really tight curl pattern and the texture is very smooth. And final thing, I want to share some content creators that, I don't know if they're hair content creators, but some content creators that have type 4 hair or do not focus too much on texture of hair and stuff like that, because I really feel like I want you girls to stop paying attention and stop hating on your hair, because your hair is so beautiful. Talking to you guys right now as well, I don't want you guys to go around trying to educate people. People are educated and make them stay dunce if a so be the case. Let me tell them something. They don't want to be educated and they don't need to be educated. Us as black people need to be doing is just being confident in it. Don't sit and cry, because that is only going to stir up more emotions and more vulnerability and more sadness. I want you guys to rock whatever is not accepted with confidence. Make it be a situation where you see a dark skinned girl walking past, like, oh my god girl, I love your skin. That's basically all I wanted to say. Goodbye. I'm out of breath.